Okay, so I could never be so wrong in my diagnostics. You know, something just didn't set right with me. What's going on, everybody? Pete with Auto Repair Tips. In this video, I got a 16 Chevy Cruze. It's a rental car, and the rental car has their own shop. They do their own oil changes, own mechanic work, and things like that. And here's what's going on. When a guy got the car in some time back, someone had put a timing belt on it, and they said it was off about a tooth. So what they did was, he said they lined it back up. Customers, they rented it out. The guy's been driving the car, and all of a sudden it started acting up. I think it has a P0011, I believe the code is. Yeah, P0011, and that is the camshaft position action. That's the camshaft position. That is the camshaft position solenoid. And that's the camshaft position actuator. All right. And that's the camshaft position actuator solenoid. And what that does is it allows oil to pass through different sides of it. It's either going to retard or advance the camshaft. This thing is stuck open at 20%. So I called the guy up and I asked him, "Are you sure that you've got the belt on there correctly and it's not off a tooth?" And he said, "Yeah, he's really confident that it does." So it could be a few different things. Low on oil, dirty oil, timing's off, or the solenoid is bad. But he is so confident that it's not that timing, we're gonna go to the solenoid and see exactly what's going on with it. Now, at first I wasn't gonna make a video on this, but I said, you know what? It might make a good little video for someone to look at if you're at home and you got this same problem. Let me show you where I'm at. So if you look right here, the P0010 and the P0011, the P0011 was always here. The 10 just happened because I disconnected the circuit on it while I was working on it. P2089, the intake camshaft position actuator solenoid, has a high circuit on it. That test failed. That popped up just a few minutes ago. Let me show you the readings. Let me go to my guided component. Let me start it up. Now we're at idle, so it should be, you know, somewhere closer to zero. And if you look, right here, we're already sitting anywhere from 30 to 40% duty cycle. So it's, to me, that's already kind of high. I know some vehicles run a little high, but at an idle, that's kind of high. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the exhaust side and we'll reference into the exhaust side. So I've got it hooked to the exhaust side and it's at zero. There is right now nothing going on with the solenoid. Watch what happens when I rev up the RPM a little bit. So we're gonna put it right about, I'm gonna try to hit about 1500 first. You're at 1500. Now I'm at about 3000 RPMs. I'm gonna back it down to about 2500. I'm gonna bring it back down to an idle, and it goes away. That's how the solenoid on the intake side should work. It's a good possibility we just have a bad solenoid, but what I want to do right now is I want to go ahead and I want to get into, let's do this. Let's go to the computer here. Let's go to the P11 here, diagnose. I'm gonna do a smart data. I want to show you guys something real quick. So right now we're on the intake. Where is it at? Let me find it, Where is it at? The intake cam position is sitting at 20 degrees. Look right here. The desired camshaft position is 20 degrees. So it's asking to be at 20 degrees and it's sitting at 20 degrees. The intake camshaft position variance is at 0. Now go over here to the exhaust side. The desired exhaust side is 0, it's sitting at 0, and the camshaft variance is 0. When I give it the gas, watch the difference. This is why I asked the guy, you sure that you got the timing correct? Because that's what it's asking for. He says he does. So on that sensor, the oil goes one way to retard it, one way to advance it. It's possible that the valve is stuck a little bit open, and it could have been from dirt oil or anything like that. And that's why it's desiring 20. I mean, because if you look at it, it's giving it what it's asking for. So let's, I'm gonna rev it up a little bit. Let's watch the ones on the side here. All right, it looked to me like the intake cam position is red now. It's like stuck at 20. So that's kind of way out of whack. Let me show you what I found when I was looking at the oil. But even look here, the intakes, the exhaust side came out is in the red, but there's no code for that. So if we go back, let's go to, here's a good thing you can read too. One thing I like about the Snap-on So I connected the scan tool and found the code P0011. Camshaft position timing is over advanced or the system performance on bank 1. Inspected the engine oil level and condition and found it was in the proper level and was clean. Used the scan tool to monitor data, increased the speed to 2,500 RPMs, and observed the engine camshaft position. Did not move from 0 degrees. His was stuck at 0. Disconnected the variable timing valve control solenoid harness connector, inspected the terminals and found no concern. Connected a multimeter across the variable valve timing control solenoid harness. Used a scan tool to actuate the variable timing control solenoid and found that there was battery voltage and ground were present. Removed the valve timing control solenoid for visual inspection and found no faults. Used a meter to test the solenoid resistance, found the measured resistance was above specifications. The result of the test verified the variable timing control solenoid was faulty. One more test I want to do real quick before I do anything. We're going to go back one. Let's go to repair. Yes, I do. 16 Cruise, the L model. I'm going to use that. P11. Let's go to wiring diagram. Saved by the bell. So let's go find, let's see, lower rear engine, crankshaft position, crankshaft, rear of engine, intake camshaft position sensor. That's a exhaust cam. Well, that's for the, that's VIN code M. I think we have a G on ours, don't we? And it is definitely not ours on these schematics. You got to make sure you're looking at one, you're going, oh, wait a second. It's not me, not even mine. We're not looking for the camshaft position sensor. Come on, baby. Here it is, right here. Read the right thing, you big dummy. Intake camshaft position actuator solenoid valve. Woo! Just light that one up. X that again. Full view. Come on, man, light up. I'm a clicking, it ain't a lighting. All right, so the violet and brown one, it goes into the intake solenoid 1. The other one goes into the cam phaser low reference. That's the black and brown one. That's going to be your ground side. Let's do a signature test. That's what it should look like when it's running right here. Let's check that out right quick. So I'm hooked to the black is going to a good ground, and I'm hooked to the violet and brown side. So we should get a decent looking pattern. Let's take a look and let's see what happens when I crank this thing up and let it run. Be right there, give me 1 second. All right, well that is a shitty looking signal off for a second there, wasn't it? Let's let that run for a minute, let's see what happens. So sitting here looking at it, the waveform looks good. Now, the faster I rev it, the closer they should get is my feeling on this. So let me do something. When we, oh boom, there it is again. It's acting up. It might be a bad solenoid because like I say, you saw the glitches in it just then, letting off. It goes away, then it comes back. Tell you what, let's compare it to the exhaust side. They're both gonna work about the same way. I'm unplugging it now and I'm plugging into the exhaust side. Well, that's not good. Let me give it the gas, see what happens. Maybe something happened in. There it is. See, it's flatline. I'm giving it the gas. That thing, you know what? We're flatline. When I give it the gas is when you see the waveforms. I let go and flatline. So at idle, we don't have anything. And right here, the duty cycle should increase with the engine load. Should be driven for for accurate test results, but we're not driving it. Let me let's switch it back to the other side one more time. So it is. This thing is like it's always engaged. I just plugged it in. You look at the horrible signal. I mean, it should be sitting at 0 right now. This shouldn't even be up there. It's like at 14%, 14 right now. It looks like. I'm gonna hit the gas. Let's see what happens. So looking at the readings, I'm gonna go with my gut. We're gonna throw a sensor in there. He is so confident that his timing is on, and it doesn't appear to be off because the car is not sluggish at all. If you were off on your timing, you would have a little, it'd be a little bit sluggish on it, and it's not sluggish. I'm also gonna recommend an oil change because I did, like I said, I checked it. Oil looked fine, it was full. It was a little dirty, but with the new solenoid in there, I'm gonna recommend an oil change so we start off with some fresh stuff. But let me get that sensor stuck in there, and then let's check the readings. Like I said, it should be like this when you're at idle. All right, I will catch you in a bit. All right, so I got the new solenoid in, doing some research. I think we have it on the signature test, if I'm not mistaken. This test is like an on and off type thing. And if you remember before, and I hope it didn't do it now, but when it got hot or ran for a while, it would just glitch out on us, go a straight line, and you would see weird spikes up and down. Let me rev up the engine and let's keep our eyes on the wave pattern and see what happens. So this one seems to be doing pretty good. Let me switch back to another test, the one that we had earlier that was showing constantly 20. Let's hope it's not that, or let's hope at least maybe if it is at 20, the pattern's a little bit more stable. Let me show you what I've done. I went ahead and, let me go back. Believe it or not, kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop, I guess. Maybe I need to change the oil, but looking at the guided component test, this is actually even higher. It was at like 20 or 30 before, now it's at like 50. Oops, it's actually higher. And it's still got a jacked up wave pattern, so maybe that's what it's supposed to look like. I didn't think it was, but I went back to the codes. I cleared the codes out of it because it was a hard code. Let me rev it up and let's see if that code pops back in. If it does, he's gonna have to probably do something with the timing on it. I'm not sure if you can hear or see that, but we don't have no codes popping in. So we're definitely engine's getting up a little bit past operating temp right now. We'll go back to this guided component test here. We were doing the duty cycle, view the meter. It's still up there. Let's go back and look at the other one, the signature test. This is the one that kept dropping out on us, so let me rev it up again. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna chalk it up that we're looking back at the duty cycle one as if that is supposed to be the reading on it, because it's definitely higher, it wasn't lower. The exhaust one is at 0. Maybe they're supposed to be different. I couldn't find much on it. I used Pro Demand. I couldn't find much on what their actual thing should be. And I looked all over. I assumed it should have been sitting at 0, but you know what happens when you assume, right? You make an ass out of you and me. So we're gonna go with that's a good reading. Okay, so I could never be so wrong in my diagnostics. You know, something just didn't set right with me when I came up with my end result. I know just something didn't feel right. So I went back and researched some more and did some more looking. I got on the old computer, hit Google, kind of did some more reading there. Went back to service data where I use Mitchell on Demand, Pro Demand basically. And Pro Demand, it sucks. A lot of times in certain things, it's just freaking horrible. But let me tell you what I come up with. Let me show you what I got. This is the actual problem. So right here you got cam actuators and cam solenoids. The solenoid is the item that I replaced and tested. And I went back and retested the old one compared to the new one. There's nothing wrong with either solenoid. They were fine. This is a cam actuator. Another word for an actuator is going to be a phaser. It's the phaser. It's what moves. Your timing belt will go on top of the sprocket, and there's oil goes inside the phaser, and the phaser adjusts the timing, advance or retard. So let me show you. We're going to do a test. These tests time out. So when I hit this actuator here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to increase the degrees. Let me show you what I'm going to do. We'll go to actuator. We're going to start with the exhaust side, so you can see a one that's working correctly. Go with exhaust. We're good. So if you look right up in here, time out on me. Okay, we're at 4 degrees. Watch right here. I'm going to go up, see how they each move together. I'm at 12, 12, 16, 16. Let's go back out of this. I'm going to go to the intake side. But see how they matched up all the way? If I put it at 10, it was at 10, at 16, it was at 16. We're going to go to the intake side this time. We'll continue. That's going to be on this side of the screen. So right here, we're at 4 and 4 matches up, right? I'm all the way at 20. Doesn't go past 7. So the actual position of the phaser is sitting at 6, and I'm asking it to be 20. That's my desired position. Okay? So, that being said, we have a bad phaser. So I'm gonna send it back to the shop. They're gonna put exhaust phaser on it and a cam phaser on it. What probably happened was, when they put a timing belt on it, they probably didn't replace it. Maybe they damaged it. I don't really know, but that's what's wrong with this thing. It just needs phasers. So like I said before, sometimes you get your mind set on something and you start going in that direction, and you just keep going that direction because you want it to be the answer. Well, in this case, I kept forcing it and it wasn't the answer. After I stepped back for a minute, went home, had a beer, enjoyed myself, thought about it, came back to work the next day, retested everything, and came up with the actual result. So that being said, this job is done. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Catch you later.